People of the internet! Trump addresses reporters during a trip to Israel. President Trump says he's unsure if he'll make it to heaven. Quote, I don't think there's anything going to get me in heaven. I think I'm not heaven bound, says Donald Trump. Now, when I originally heard that, I was like, wait, what? And it made me think, like, I pondered on it for a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, like, wait a minute. What do you mean, Mr. Trump? Now, a couple of things you can take away from it. What I personally took away from it and how it made me feel is that what I concluded, and what I've actually always been saying, is that we all need to pave our own path. These people that are in leadership positions, whether you voted for them or not, it's the blind leading the blind, folks. Everybody's making up the rules as they go is what it seems like. For me, I personally felt like, first of all, I wasn't really surprised. It's Donald Trump. What much can you really expect from a man like that anyway? But then on top of that, it's just like, you're the president of the United States. The leader. President. Whether you believe the president is just a puppet, whether you believe the president is actually the guy who calls the shots, whatever you believe, nonetheless, it's an authoritative figure, right? It's the leader of the United States of America, right? Arguably the greatest country in the world, yada, 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 this, that, and the other, right? How does that make you feel? Hearing that the leader himself feels like he's not worthy, or has missed his flight, has missed his chance, or doesn't feel like when it's all said and done that he's going to heaven. Would you want to listen and take rules from somebody who themselves felt like they weren't going to heaven? Now, this isn't necessarily if you believe in heaven. Some people say, I don't believe in no heaven. Ain't no heaven, man. I ain't believing in heaven. It don't matter. Some people will say, nah, I agree. Well, at least he's self-aware. I saw a lot of people, different people saying different things. Well, at least he's self-aware. At least he knows. For me, it just made me feel like, wait, why are you... It made me think as well, too. It's like, is that a requirement for your leader? Would you want somebody who is the leader to feel that they're on a righteous path? I would. I would rather you not say anything at all, as opposed to say you don't think you're going. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I think there was an actual clip as well, too. I want to get his words verbatim. Trump, no heaven. I just thought it was weird. It's just like, that's just something you don't want a person in a leadership role to be saying. Me personally, I don't. This is what I'm referring to for those who may or may not be aware. He's aboard Air Force One, which is the president's plane.
You know, I'm being a little cute. I don't think there's anything going to get me in heaven, okay? I really don't. I think I'm not maybe heaven bound. I may be in heaven right now as we fly in Air Force One. I'm not sure.
You're not.
I'm going to be able to make heaven.
Air Force One is not heaven.
A lot better for a lot of people. And
aboard his presidential plane, Air Force One, your president said that, nah, heaven, nah, not for me.
You know, I'm being a little cute.
Yeah, and of course there's some, he's being funny. Of course, I get that as well, too. Of course, we're not taking everything as literal, but still, right? It's just like,
I don't think there's anything going to get me in heaven.
I don't think there's anything that's going to get me into heaven, says the President of the United States. It makes you think, well, what have you done to have written yourself off from such a peaceful ending? Why are you so sure? What have you done? What is your conscience telling you that makes you so sure that heaven is not in the books for you? Mr. Trump, I want to know.
Okay, I really don't. I think I'm not maybe heaven bound.
I don't think I'm heaven bound. Where are you going? If not heaven, does one just safely assume that you're going to the other place?
I may be in heaven right now as we fly in Air Force One. I'm not sure.
I may be on heaven right now as we fly on Air Force One. President Trump, I can assure you, Air Force One is not heaven. That I can assure you. That I know that much. But again, folks, it's like, it's funny, but it's not funny. And it makes you feel like, again, like, I look at it like this, right? Anybody that you have in a leadership role, again, this is the President of the United States. Would you want your teacher, the police officer, your parent, anybody that's in a leadership role who is in charge to some degree of the people, a society, a civilization, a classroom, whatever the case is, would you want that leader to confidently say, heaven, nah, me, nah, that ship is sailed. I ain't going to heaven. What? Why are we listening to you then? Why are you the leader? I don't know. I would rather you not say anything at all. Because I would feel like a leader, if I'm going to be listening to anybody in that type of position, I would assume that you yourself as the leader feel that you're living somewhat righteously. And even if you're not perfect, okay, maybe you made some mistakes in your past, whatever the case is, but to still be so confident in your old age, Mr. Trump, at whatever, 80, however old he is, to like, heaven, but as your president, I still, what? Look, man, do with that information what you will. I won't drag it out. Me personally, all the people who are pro-Trump supporters, pick who you want to pick, pro-Trump, whatever the case is. I'm not even here to speak on who you should be voting for, who you shouldn't be voting for. I'm just speaking solely from a leadership role, as somebody who deems himself the leader of the United States of America. I don't want to hear nobody saying, hey, man, I don't think I'm going to heaven. Because what are the people under you supposed to be thinking of? It's like, what are you supposed to think now? You still support him? All my diehard Trump people, if he just said he doesn't feel like, is that a requirement for you to keep supporting Trump? Or is that nothing to you? Like, well, I'll still support him. I don't care. Folks, it's the blind leading the blind, if you ask me. Make your own rules, pave your own path, is what I would tell you. Because these people are winging it. They're winging it. And some could argue, oh, well, Trump is just a puppet. He's that, blah, 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 blah. We could get into that conversation as well, too. But I'm going to leave that alone for now. Again, gotta be mindful how you talk on these internet streets. And it's not like I hate Trump. I don't hate Trump. But I'm not, you see what I'm saying? I'm not out here dying on any type of hill for anybody, to be completely honest. Especially not one who doesn't feel like they're not worthy enough to see the pearly gates when this whole thing is all said and done. But that's just me. Nonetheless, what else we got?